All right, and we are live. It is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time exactly. I already see people waiting. That's always a good sign. Hello, Sith Lord and JJR the Third, and looks like Chirag. Thank you very much. And if I mess them up, please forgive me. This is We Love Comics. My name is Chris, and Chirag, you're hoping for the surprise subscriber shout out. Well, there you go. I didn't even have to give you a surprise. I just read it because that's what you wrote as your comment. So there you go. That's part one. So there you go. All right. Today is the 5th of August, 2018. And I woke up a little late today. I had a really busy week this week, and I was definitely not getting much sleep. So normally I put my videos out in the morning, but I found out that if I put out a live show, it's better off usually in the afternoon or early evening. But I wasn't sure what to do until I saw a person that I'm subscribed to. His name is Reggie Simmons. He does comics. He's your comic collector slash bodybuilder. Give a little shout out to him. Check out his channel if you haven't had the chance to find it yet. He's roughly at about 700 plus subs, trying to help him get to 1,000, because 1,000's the hardest. But he did a video last night, I believe, talking about how he was dipping into the Golden Age bug, and he was saying he's trying to stay away from it, like kidding around, obviously. But I wanted to show some of my Golden Age books, and I have 2 books that I'm going to do as an unboxing that are Golden Age, to kind of get people inspired to think about Golden Age books, and maybe we'll kind of change his mind a little bit. So welcome. I see a bunch of people already coming in, so welcome everybody. Thank you, Jake, Pages, Films, and Plastics, Tracy, Steven, Loudy, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, kid. Sup, bro. I love the names some of you guys use. Alright, so I have roughly about 15 of my Golden Age comics I want to show. Obviously, it's not all of them. And I have 2 Golden Age unboxings. These aren't major Golden Age books, so I wasn't sure how I was going to utilize them in a video. But like I said, I love being inspired by other YouTubers and even my subscribers who leave comments. So when I get, you know, an inspiration, it gave me an incentive on how to utilize these 2 books, because, you know, it's not Action Comics #1 or anything, and these, I don't know how exciting these would have been in a regular video, but if I show a bunch of my Golden Age books and then follow it up with an unboxing, who knows, maybe it's a win-win for everybody. So, even though I gave technically a little surprise subscriber shout out, I still do one at the end, so stick around. Keep commenting, because if you comment more often and I catch you, you know, see it, you might get that subscriber shout out. So let's get into some of these books. So before I do, one of the reasons why I love Golden Age books, I just really started getting into collecting Golden Age books only about 1.5 to 2 years ago. Never had any Golden Age books before that, because I always thought they were very expensive. And for those of you who think that's true, yes, the Detective Comic 27s and the Action Comic #1s, you know, those without question are going to be for the ultra wealthy people. But there are plenty of Golden Age books, even books like from Batman, Wonder Woman, and these are mostly what I'm going to show you. They're not going to be those generic Golden Age books where you can get in a dollar bin, but they can be affordable, because most people nowadays, they're concentrating on modern books, Silver Age, and Bronze Age mostly, and some to a lesser extent Copper Age. So many people overlook the Golden Age on eBay, and I love that, because then you could find books for deals. Now, obviously, these are not books you're going to find in the dollar bin, but as I always do, I always show the prices and tell what I paid for it, including shipping. So it might inspire you, because one of the things I love about Golden Age books is the Golden Age is what started what we all love. If the Golden Age of comics didn't happen, we wouldn't have the Amazing Spider-Mans in the world, or the Spider-Gwens of the world, or the Fantastic Fours, or the Batman, obviously, but the characters we all love. So, at one point, Golden Age was modern age, and they were bigger, they were thicker, they were definitely cheaper. I mean, I love that 10-cent little icon on the books. And people bought them back then because they loved to read them. And there's just something about it. It's like holding a piece of history. So, enough with my talking, because I know most people aren't here for that. Let's start showing some of the books. So, if you're not familiar with what the Golden Age is, it starts in 1939 and it ends in 1950. So I see some people make the mistake of, if you see a book from the late 1950s, that's Golden Age. It actually ended in 1955. So with that being said, I'm going to mention the books and also tell you the years. So we're going to go at the lowest to some of my more favorite. This is a book that I got before the Wonder Woman movie came out. And this is from 1952. This is Wonder Woman issue number 56. So this came out in the early 1950s. And I only paid $32 for this book. I'm sure books like this, especially Wonder Woman nowadays, is going to be a lot more expensive because of the fact that the movie did so well. And that's another reason why I tell people all the time, try and get books before there's a hype. There's always taking the chance, but, you know, sometimes you'll get the wins. I'm sure that book probably sells for about $90 at this point. I'm not selling it, but, you know, it's nice. This one, it's another one. See, I don't mind if they're not in the best conditions, because there's something about Golden Age books that even ones that don't look perfect kind of give it that nostalgic look. So this one's kind of dirty, but it almost looks like one of those old-time pictures where it's all faded and kind of dirty. And Corey, you're amazing with this. If anybody ever does this, and like I say, you don't have to do it. Corey seems to do it all the time, and I do thank you for that. That's really nice of you. If you end up ever doing a super chat, I'm going to automatically read it because, number one, it catches my eye because of the colors. But he says, thanks for making my Sunday with a video. Well, thank you for making my day with that. That was really nice of you. So, next comic. This is an early Plastic Man. This is Plastic Man issue number 7. Now, obviously, there's no mention of him in a movie or TV show or anything like that. That's usually the best time to pick these up. Now, I said in another video the other day that if the Shazam movie does well, and, you know, I'm crossing my fingers but definitely not holding my breath, because like I said, the Suicide Squad trailers were awesome, and that movie was not as good as the trailers. So the trailers for Shazam looks really good, but we'll see if the movie does well. But if the movie does do well, and DC actually can add some humor to a movie, and it be successful, they may use Plastic Man someday. So it's worth taking the chance on, but even not, it's still an older book. Because like I said, this came out in 1947. That's around when my father was born. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He passed away in 2012. But I only paid $41.50 for this book. So, I mean, that to me is incredible. All right, here's another book. As soon as I heard the rumors about the Wonder Woman movie a couple years ago, I bought a couple of Wonder Woman books. So I bought these before the movie came out. Luckily, the movie ended up being good. But this is Sensation Comics issue number 60. Now you see with the artwork, there's just something about these older books. You know, back in the days when I just loved the fonts that they used, it's just classic artwork. And this is what got everybody inspired to want to get comics and have them more than just a magazine or a book that you read and then put on a shelf or threw away. The centerfold is detached on that, but that's fine with me. This is from 1946, and I paid a grand total of $87. So not bad. And again, that includes shipping and handling. All right. Here's another one, and it's funny. Like, I catch this lightning in a bottle late at night. This is an early Golden Age Flash, the original Flash. This is Flash Comics issue number 20. And again, just nostalgic how he has, you know, the Mercury helmet and the Mercury, you know, God Mercury, little winged boots. The top staple is detached from the cover, but that's okay. A little bit of faded lettering here, but again, I don't mind. This is a very thick book. I forgot to write the year on this one, so I apologize. If somebody wants to write that down, you can. I know it's in the late 40s, but I only paid $114.24 for this book. Absolutely love the colors. Anime says, I bet due to taxes that he might only get $1.90. You're probably right, but hey, that's $1.90 more than I had before. So to me, I'm old school. I appreciate anything, including the intention. You know, like they say, it's the thought that counts. So, yeah, that was actually pretty funny. So, shout out to you, Anime 10100. This one I absolutely love. If it wasn't for the corner, this book would probably be at least a 6.0. A pressing will help. Eventually, I'm going to get this one graded. That's what I'm talking about. This is early Batman. This is Batman number 28. It does have a Joker appearance. And, I mean, the condition of this book looks really great. I mean, especially with the reds, a lot of times that gets faded. Because you could see on top here, it looks like it was exposed to sunlight a little bit, so it's a lot darker here. And this corner right here is missing. Oh, Sith Lord. That's nice of you, man. You guys don't have to do it. You remember, Sith, I did that for you for free, that advertisement, so please, you're not obligated, but that's nice of you. Thank you. This has a Joker appearance, so I love the early age Joker. I mean, they made him look like a literal clown. I don't think they knew what the Joker was going to become, you know, back in those days. And again, I forgot to write the year on this one, but again, this is mid to late 40s. I think it's around 45. I usually write them down, so I apologize. This is one of the more expensive books. I paid $310. But considering the condition of this book, that's not bad at all. So $300 for a book from the early days of Batman. I mean, it's just something about holding it in your hands. And I promise you, if you've never had a Golden Age book, once you hold one in your hands, you're going to get addicted. So Reggie, if you're watching this, you'll get that bug and you could stay on the shore, but eventually it'll be so hot you're going to take that dip. And you're going to love how cool and refreshing that water is. Alright, so this one, another one. This is early Green Lantern. Now, one of the benefits of the last Green Lantern movie being so bad is a lot of people stayed away from Green Lantern comics, which meant the price went down because supply and demand. If there's no demand and there's a lot of supply, the price will inevitably go down because it's the buyers that make the market, not the sellers. But this is an early age Green Lantern. This is issue number 11. And again, look at that. The original Green Lantern. And they made him look kind of cartoonish back in those days. But like I said, they didn't know then what this was going to become, you know, 30, 40, 50, 80 years later. So I love that little cape. And I love that Green Lantern actually has a red shirt. But this one is from 1944. So I was smart enough to write the year on this one. And other than the top, you could see there's a lot of little missing pieces. It's still, again, I'm trying to make it so you don't see the glare. Again, it's just the beautiful cover. Presents itself. It's completely intact. I mean, for a book that's decades old, I think that looks pretty good. I paid $242.60 for this book. And these are books I'm eventually going to get graded. I just have so many books. I mean, I literally own at least a minimum of 30,000 books. So, you know, good luck either trying to read them all or trying to grade them all. Alright, at one point, this was my earliest Batman. But this is no longer my earliest Batman. But still, again, I just love this cover. I love the artwork. It's just amazing to me. This is Batman issue number 19. Now, this one, the staples are intact, but they are barely hanging on. It does have a Joker appearance. It seems like, and I never look for it, but every Batman that I've purchased has a Joker appearance. None of them on the cover, but still. This came out in 1943. The staples are intact, but like I said, they are barely hanging on. So if I ever get this graded, I put a little note to tell them to please be careful. This has Dick Sprang art. And it was from 1943. I'll take 15,000 off you if you want. Okay, I'll give you all my 90s. There you go. You have a deal. Worth about $87. But I paid $127.89 for this book. So that's not bad. Under $200 for Batman number 19. I mean, yeah, this is probably a 1.5, maybe a 2.0. But to me, because I love comics, I don't care about the grade. I mean, yes, I would love to have that in a 9.0, but I don't want to spend $8 grand to get it. So, to me, low grade is better than no grade. This is another one. This was right before I quit my original channel. This was a book I got, but I shut my channel down, and I'll never make that mistake again. But I got this, I think, like the day after, so I never really got to show this one. I've shown it in other videos, but this one just literally fell into my lap, and I just love this. This is another Flash book, but it's an even earlier Flash book. This is All Flash Quarterly, issue number 3. And this thing, like, feels like it weighs at least a pound. And again, just the nostalgic golden age drawings. So this is the 3rd issue of All Flash. This is from 1941. The centerfold is detached, but big deal. That doesn't matter to me one bit. I'm not one of those people that's going to be, you know, that critical. Because then if I pass this up, now I wouldn't own it. This came out in 1941. So getting close to the very beginning of the Golden Age. And by the way, there is such a thing called the Platinum Age, which I don't own any Platinum books. One day I will get that. That's a books before Action Comics #1 in 1939. That goes back actually to the 1800s. I'd love to get one of those one day. Eventually I will. But I paid $137.38 for All Flash Quarterly #3, intact except for the centerfold being detached. Still there, which is fine with me. A book from 1941. I mean, my parents weren't even alive back then. How would I have ever gotten that book? This is one of my pride and joys. It is a 1.0 at best, but I don't care. Otherwise, I probably would have never been able to afford this. But this one, absolutely love it. It has some pretty big significance, and when you see it, I wish it was #1, but hey, you know, can't have everything. This is Batman issue number 5. Now, there are some key significances. Now, if you look, this is tattered like crazy. I mean, this is a book, I didn't write the year, unfortunately, but I know this is like 41-ish. Somewhere around there. If somebody wants to look it up, you're more than welcome to. But this is Bob Kane art. There's his name right there. It might be hard to see because it's black ink on the black part of the page. But this was drawn by Bob Kane, the original co-creator of Batman. Now, again, this has a Joker appearance. What a surprise. It has the only time where Batman does not have his bat emblem. If you notice on his chest, it's the only time he never had the bat symbol on his chest. Now, whether that was an accident or not, we may never know. But it's also the first Batmobile. So there's a lot of significance in this one. Now, it does have a detached cover, which means that the absolute best grade this could get would be a 2.0. But I'd be thrilled with a 2.0. I don't even think it would get that. I think more realistically a 1.0 to a 1.5. And Random Ryu said 1941. So there you go. I think I said 1941, so that's pretty good. Thank you for that. It does have a detached cover, and a piece of the cover is ripped off. This whole piece right here, if you see that white from here all the way up here, is completely detached. But I leave it there to make it look whole. But that's not attached at all. But to me, I don't care. Again, this is history. And there's definitely some nostalgia. Now, this is one of the more expensive books I ever bought. Even in low grade, I still got a good deal. I paid $622.95 for this book. This book in a 0.5 goes for about $800. So it shows some of these can get up there. When you're talking, you know, issues 20 down, you're talking some high-priced books. So I would love to have a 5.0 or something like that, but I can't afford that. Not now. If I win the lottery, then yeah. But to me, I mean, winning the lottery and just buying comics, to me, I don't find that exciting, because that's just a person with money saying, look what I'm buying. I like the fact that I come up with money when I can. I work hard for it. I try and find a deal, and I'm able to get something I couldn't afford, like the next one you're going to see. And Random Ryu, yeah, bid high. You should see the prices that those books sell for. I mean, you're talking the 5th issue of Batman going back to 1941. You know, so you're going to pay for things. I mean, look at Action Comics #1, a 9.0 sold for $3 million. I would say that's high, too. This one is my absolute pride and joy. This is a coverless cover with a coverless book with a facsimile cover. I don't care. This is a book I would have not been able to buy regardless, because a 0.5 is worth about $2,000 to $3,000. When you hear the price I got for this, to me, I love comics. As much as I love the cover, to me, it's the comic book that matters, what's on the inside. So I have four key comics that have no cover, but they have facsimiles. I have Amazing Spider-Man #1. I have Fantastic Four issue #1. I forget what the other one is. I have one on the way that I just had, and I'll do a video. I just actually arrived yesterday, but I'll do a video later this week. It's another Golden Age book. I should have done that one today, but I'll save that for another time. And then this one. So when you see it, you'll understand why I bought it for the price that I did. Now, many people are going to say, oh, I don't want to get a book because it's coverless. Well, if you say you're a comic book lover and you love to read comics, well, then it doesn't matter if it has a cover or not. And the facsimile cover makes it look real. So to me, it looks like I own this particular book in its completeness. And if I ever find somebody selling just the cover, I'll add it to it. And now I saved thousands of dollars on a book that I would have never been able to afford. This isn't the last one I'm showing, but it's my favorite. This is Superman issue #2. From 1939. The first year of the Golden Age. Everything else is completely intact in this book. So all the inside pages are there. It just did not have a cover. One day I will look on eBay, because there are plenty of people that sell just covers of books. Now, if I can find just the cover for about $500 to even up to $700, I would still make out, because I paid a total, like I said, a 0.5 of this book. Look it up. A 0.5 of this book will sell between $2,000 and $3,000. That's an absolute trash of a book. If I can find a cover for this, that would bring it up to a 2.0. Because even coverless books can get at least up to 2.0. The rest of the book looks incredible. I paid $380.01 for Superman #2 just because it didn't have the cover on it. To me, that's a no-brainer. And to anybody says they wouldn't buy it, do they really love reading comics as much as they say? Because tell me that if I didn't tell you that that was a facsimile cover, would you have known? I mean, they made that look perfectly nostalgic. And like I said, I'm on the hunt to look for an actual cover of this book. And if I could find one, then I will have saved tremendous amounts of money. But I love that book because of the fact that there would have been no way in my income range that I would have been able to afford even a 0.5 of a Superman #2. Now, there's nothing majorly key in that book at all. It's just, it's #2 issue. To me, that's amazing. All right, so I got 5 more that I have that are graded books. These are, let me just double check. I think 3 of the 5 I bought raw and then got graded. 2 others I bought already graded. So, and then I'll have the 2 unboxings. So it's a longer video, but hey, if you like this, thumbs up, support, always appreciated. And don't forget, I'm going to be doing the surprise subscriber shout out, so make sure that you keep commenting. This is one I bought raw. Absolutely love the condition of this book. Got it graded back in 2015. I did grade it by PGX because Golden Age books, if you go to CGC or CBCS, they charge an arm and a leg for Golden Age books. And I just did it because I wanted it protected. So why spend more money when I don't have to? So many people worry about the resale value. Well, I still have the book. I have no intention of selling it. And even if I did, I'm still going to make money on it because the amount of money I buy these for, I will sell it for a lot more when and if I ever do. But this is Batman issue #32. It came back a 5.5, which I agree with. I mean, this, I actually thought it might have been a 6.0. But it's hard to see because, unfortunately, I don't have the greatest lighting system here. but it's bright red. Absolutely looks in great condition for a book so old. I paid a total of $380 on this book. It's one of the first Golden Age books that I bought. Absolutely love it. Now this has Dick Sprang and Jerry Robinson art. It's a Dick Sprang cover. It has a Joker appearance. Again, what a surprise. I don't actually try and find Joker appearances. It's just every issue that I bought of old Batman ended up having a Joker appearance, which, you know, that's the #1 villain of Batman. I'll gladly take that. But it is also the origin of Robin retold. So there's a lot of keys in this, and this came out in, it says December 45 and January 46. So they kind of did it, like as you could see here. It says, maybe you can't see, it says December, January. So they did it kind of bi-monthly at that point, I believe. 52 pages. Not all advertisements like you see today. I just love these. I like when they write the word 10 cents. I mean, they write the number 10 cents. This one spelled out 10 cents, so it's, you know, not as much as a favorite for me. This is one, I'll take it out of the bag. This was one I bought already graded, but for the price, I could not complain. This is Action Comics, issue number 78. And this is a 2.0. It's a lower grade. But again, the cover, as long as the cover presents itself well, I'm not going to complain about that. The back is where most of the damage is. You could see there's a piece missing all along here. There's a little bit... Oh, I thought that was writing, but that's actually part of the advertisement. And that's another thing I like. The old-time advertisements. It's for Everready batteries, so I guess I'm doing a quick commercial for Everready. But this one, I mean, nothing nostalgic about this as far as anything of significance. It's just an early Superman. It was made in 1944, off-white pages. I paid a total of $85 for that book, including shipping and handling. So for $85, I mean, how do you pass it up? I mean, I'm glad other people did, because, like I said earlier in this video, that most people are buying Silver Age, Bronze Age, Modern Age, and they're not paying attention to Golden Age, which means people like me are going to snatch them up. All right, again, I'll take this out of the bag. This is a book I bought before the movie came out. This is another Wonder Woman book. This one was purchased already graded. I love this cover. This is Wonder Woman, issue number 20. This is the first Captain Redbeard, which I'm sure everybody's excited about. That's that gentleman over here. So that's his first appearance. And it's a bondage cover for people who are into that kind of thing. If you know about Wonder Woman, the person who created Wonder Woman was definitely into bondage. So you'll see many of his comic covers where Wonder Woman's tied up, and that's the real reason why she has the lasso of truth, because he was kind of a pervert. But this was from 1946. It says November to December of 1946. Creamed off-white pages. It was a CGC 4.0. 4-page... that doesn't matter. And, yeah, there's nothing of significance of this book other than it's an early Wonder Woman. This is like about a $400 book now. I paid $137.06 for this book. So I had a 6 cents on this. Alright, the last two were ones I actually did in my PGX unboxings fairly recently. And then I'll do the 2 unboxings of the Golden Age books here. So thank you to everybody that's been sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this. And thank you to Reggie for the inspiration on this. But this one I bought recently, got it graded. And this is my earliest with a cover. Oh, almost dropped my microphone. Nope, give me a second. Sorry about that. This is Superman issue number 13. World War II cover. Absolutely love that. That's not a piece missing. That's actually the effect of him punching the ship. So that's not a piece missing. Now, for those that always say PGX never finds anything, They graded this a 1.5. This came out in 1941. Off-white to white pages. It's got a full spine split. The front and back cover taped to the spine. So the front and back are detached and split, but somebody along the line taped it. When it comes to Golden Age books, I really don't care. I mean, again, that means that somebody loved this book. They read it so much that they literally ripped the cover off. But for the price I paid for an early Superman, I mean, Superman number 13, now you can see why it's a lower grade. I mean, there's a piece missing here. But again, the cover presents itself well. There's a little piece right there, barely hard to see, missing there. But I think it's mostly the fact that it's split. So I think this is an accurate grade, a 1.5. So many people complain about that, but hey, some people just like to complain. I paid, with shipping and handling and the cost to get it shipped and sent to graded and all that other stuff, I paid $360.99 for an early Superman. Again, nothing nostalgic as far as... Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. There's something very nostalgic about this book. And I actually pointed this out to PGX, and they're the first ones to ever put this on the slab. CGC and CBCS do not mention this book. So forgive me, I forgot that this is a very significant book. This is the first appearance of Archer, which is not the key part. But here's the key part. No other slabbing company mentions this. Jimmy Olsen appearance, name Jimmy revealed. The first definite appearance in a comic book. Last name not used until issue 15. So this book was the first time that Jimmy Olsen was named. Before that, he was called Office Boy. So they didn't call him Jimmy Olsen. They called him Jimmy. But this is the first time he was going from just a background character to what became a known Superman character, Jimmy Olsen, until they screwed it up with Batman v Superman, and without people even knowing who he was, killed him in the beginning of the movie. I mean, that's not the kind of Easter egg that we want. Now, I've looked this up. CGC and CBCS don't mention this. And I did a lot of research on this book to verify that this was accurate. So, you know, kudos for them to doing it. Whether you hate PGX or not, I don't care. So, here's my absolute favorite Golden Age book. On my 2015 list, I was talking about how I wanted either a Submariner or a Human Torch or Captain America or one of those timely comics before they became Marvel icons. And I was finally able to grab one. This actually, because of the split in the spine, gave it a much lower grade. But when you see how beautiful this is, if it wasn't for that split, that's like 2/3 of the book, almost half of the book, it would have been a much higher grade. But this is my pride and joy and the reason why I love comic books in the Golden Age. This is Captain America, issue 65. This is the issue where you can see right here where Captain America slaps Bucky on the cover. So that was pretty controversial back in the days. But yeah, he was called, Jimmy Olsen was originally called Office Boy. He was basically a non-character in the beginning. So that book, issue 13, and most people don't know it because unfortunately most people, they just for some reason don't want to do their own research. Most people didn't know that that book was the first time they said that it was the first Jimmy Olsen. The same with my Batman number 5. Most people didn't know that was the first true appearance of the Batmobile. And the only time he didn't have his bat emblem on his chest. So you got to do your research, guys. Trust me on that. Because believe it from me, I make mistakes too. And you can't always go with what other people say. Because not everybody, what they're saying, has research. They just regurgitate what somebody else says. Now, this came back a 2.0, cream to off-white pages. Again, I'll show you. From here down is completely split. So I think that's the main reason why this got a 2.0. I actually thought it would have been higher. The back looks good, but again, I'm not going to complain because it's still intact. There is no restoration. And here's the funny part. This came out, what year? This came out in 1948. Only has one staple. There are a lot of Golden Age books where because of the war, even afterwards, there was a shortage of metal. Because, you know, especially at that time, they had to do a lot of rebuilding. So when you're rebuilding, you know, cities, you need a lot of steel. So they were conserving metal as much as they could by using only one staple in the comic books. So if you ever see a Golden Age book with one staple, that is not wrong. Not all of them had it, but I think that just is another part of the nostalgia. Yeah, the girl with the cap is nice. Yeah, again, 1940s hairstyles and stuff. All right. So the moment you may or may not have been waiting for. Again, these are not major key issues, but these are the two unboxings I'm going to do. I already cut it from the side, so this video doesn't have to be too much longer. These are both Golden Age books, and hopefully this convinced you guys to check out your first Golden Age. And the bad part is I could easily be quiet about this and not say anything and have less people bidding against me, but I want to share this kind of stuff. You know, to me, that's important. I don't want to just do this selfishly for myself, for my own personal gain. That's why this is not called I Love Comics, it's called We Love Comics. So I want to have everybody join in, because every time somebody buys a comic book, that keeps the industry alive. It keeps it healthy. It keeps it going. And to me, that's a good thing. Some people don't understand that. Okay, so this one, again, nothing majorly nostalgic. You could see this is a lower grade, but it's one of those thick books. Looks like what it would be like if you thought of Giant Size X-Men #1. But this is Archie, Pals and Gals, issue number 3. So it's an early Archie. I mean, I don't love Archie or anything, but I love the fact that it's... Oh, where am I going? That's nostalgic. Let me see if I wrote the year on this one. This came in 1954. So it's just near the end of the Golden Age, because the Golden Age ends in 1955. You know, there's some creases and everything, like here, all along here. Actually, duh. It's hard when it's backwards. But that breaks color. There's a bunch of those, so this is probably a 2.0 at best. But it's complete. And it's an early Archie comic. I paid a grand total of $46.46. You know, for a book that old and an early Archie book, I mean, it's not the first appearance of Archie or anything. I just like the fact that it's old. And now it's mine. That's what true love of comics is sometimes just not caring other than the fact it is something that you love. So this is the last one, and then I will do the surprise subscriber shout out. And I thank you all for sticking around and being patient. I mean, this whole time I've had between 40 and 60 people watching, and especially for a Sunday afternoon when you should be outside getting sun, and you're here watching me, and I appreciate that. This is another book, doesn't have any major significance. It's just an older book and an early issue of a book, and I just love this cover, so I bought it. This is Superboy, issue number 7. No significance other than the fact it's an early Superboy. Again, nostalgic cover. I paid a total of $110.50. This came out in 1950. It's intact. It looks like it'd probably be a 2.5 to maybe a 3.0. Pressing and a dry cleaning would definitely help this book. I don't know if I'll ever get it graded, but still, nice books to have to my collection. So, that is all my, not all my Golden Age books, but a lot of my Golden Age books. I want to thank you guys for watching. We're going to do the surprise subscriber shout out today, and that will be going to Tracy Richardson. So thank you very much for taking the time, for everybody watching my video. If you could please give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate the support, and I thank you for that. That means a lot for me. I hope this has inspired you to hopefully maybe check out your own Golden Age book and get your first one, because you could see some of these were pretty big issues, and yet they weren't thousands of dollars. Some of these I bought under 50 bucks, so they are within most people's price range. So go take a look. Right now I'm not bidding on anything, so you can outbid me, but be careful, I'll be out there. So thank you everybody for watching. I love you all. I hope you have a great day. Go outside, catch some fresh air, hit the like button, hit subscribe button. Just don't hit the person next to you, because you may be by yourself and then you just be punching air, and that's weird. So don't forget, it's not you, it's not I, it's we love comics, especially Golden Age. Have a great day. I'll see you next video.